Often we forget how important it is just to have quality components, or at least fresh components in the areas where you get in contact with the motorcycle, and that means tires and grips, for example. So don't cheap out on these things, and then as soon as they are in a bad shape, or maybe you're not finding the comfort you're looking for, just go ahead and do your research to see what actually fits the bill, and you can make it a more pleasant experience every time you jump on your bike. So today I'm going to be replacing my grips, and I want you to walk with me and let me know if you have any questions.
So I normally start by heating up or applying heat to the end of the clip-on bar. Why? There's a bar that is held by a bolt, and the bolt usually have Loctite in it. So the heat is going to be helping you to melt that a little bit and avoiding that you're going to be applying so much pressure to the bolt that you're going to be stripping the head. With the Loctite melted, now it's time for us to remove the bolt. And this is how the bolts looks like. Cool. So at this point, it's a matter of, trying and testing. So let's see what works. In this case, as you can tell, I'm applying a lot of pressure, but it's actually, coming out fairly easy. So I continue to pull, and until I can get it completely out, like you can see here. And this is pretty disgusting, and it goes to the brush. In case you haven't seen it before, this is the inside area of the clip-on bar where that bolt came out of. What I wanted to mention is that in this case, this actually came out pretty easy. I only, apply some force, and as you can tell, I can just push it and it goes in. But something I wanted to mention is once you get the weight out with the screw or the bolt, actually, what you can do is, I guess there are two things. So one, if you're planning on reusing this, you can sometimes just try very carefully with a small screwdriver. This might be, too big. And this is in such a bad shape that if I were to do this, I know it's gonna break like this. So, but anyway, if you have a small one, you can drop a little bit of WD-40 on this side, and it's just gonna be starting to break some of that glue. It's just gonna make it so much easier to take it out. But you always have to think about that you want to remove that WD-40, because you don't want that, kind of staying in, and then when you're putting your new one, then just going to be sliding on the tube. So anyway, so you can also do this and kind of help it to break some of that glue, and eventually with the help of the WD-40 or some other penetrant in a screwdriver, you can actually get it out. Also, if you're not planning on using it, don't spend too much, so much trouble doing that. You can actually start by doing something like this, where you are ripping it apart, and then you can at least start to get some leverage and maybe continue to break it until you can actually free up your tooth. So just a comment that I wanted to make. If you are running into issues and you actually cannot get it to come out as easy as I was able to. So at this point, I'm using Goof Off to remove some of the excess glue that it's still, on the bar. You don't have to use anything like this. You can use any other solvent that at least, help you just to dissolve that glue. And in my personal case, I would love to start with a surface that's completely clean before I apply any additional glue. And in here, I'm just using something, a zip tie on the area where it has the rips, just so it helps me to remove all that, residue or whatever remaining glue that's still on the bar. Something I forgot to mention is that I'm installing grips that do not have an opening at the end, which is the area where the bar came out of the other one and actually gonna go back in. So this is not a big deal. You can actually do exactly what I'm doing. I'm actually with the knife making a cross pattern, and I'm just gonna go ahead, make sure that I'm putting back I have enough space to put back the weight. And as you can tell in my other video, the most important thing that you have to do is just to check that it's not gonna be interfering with the operation of your throttle. So with a clean surface, at this point, it's time for us to apply a little bit of glue. In this case, I'm actually using Gorilla Glue, one of the all-purpose ones. You can actually grab a specific grip glue for this matter, and they're actually quite affordable. It's gonna allow you to, one, serve as a lubrication when you are putting back your grip, and secondly, it's gonna be strong enough to keep those grips in place for a long time. So once you have it in place, at this point you want to adjust it to the area where you wanna want the actual grip pointing to. I applied a little bit of Loctite to the bolt, and at this point I'm installing the weight, and this should be about it. Although very similar, I want you to be able to see how I did the throttle side as well. So this one, of course, is going to be different to the other one, because this one actually has the movement and the operation of the throttle that goes in, goes back and forth. So in this case, I'm just going straight and I caught it, but you'll see essentially it's going to be the same process. You just want to make sure that whenever you put the grip is in a position where it's not binding on the inside, close where the right controls are, where you have your starter button and whatnot, and you're also getting enough, you're not creating any binding when you put the weights back on the clip-on, so that the actual grip is getting stuck and is interfering with your operation. So of course, same like I did before, I'm cleaning all that old glue. I'm using the zip tie method again, just to remove any remaining glue that's still stuck. I'm applying the glue now, and it's about the same process. I'm just gonna go ahead, use it as a lubricant, and then it's just gonna help me to slide it in. It's a fairly tight fitment, so the glue actually helps a lot, and it also helps by spreading on the inside on an even more coat. This is gonna make sure that this is not gonna go away as soon as it gets dry. And just like that, installation is about the same. I'm making sure that I have the right adjustment, or I have the grip pointing to the right position. Now putting the bolt back in place and making sure, like I said before, that I have no interference on the operation of the throttle. And you don't have to, but look how it looks. It looks awesome. This is like 10, 11, 10, 12 bucks that I purchased this for. You don't have to, but I put them outside on the sun just to make sure that they are curing as quickly as possible. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. Please subscribe and like it if you enjoy and learn something today. Thank you, and let me know if you have any questions. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions or any comments. Bye bye.